right, so I noticed on my last ride that I was getting some brake fluid leaking from between this plastic housing and the lever mechanism. And so I was reading up online, there is an O-ring that connects between the brake reservoir plastic and this metal part. And so just wanted to replace that without taking out too many parts. So what you want to do is just take your right control off, and it's just a little screw down here. And once you got that off, there's two Allen head bolts, one on this side, and then if you go over here, there's one right there. And they're just two small Allen head bolts. And once you take those out, the entire master cylinder will just pop out. So just go ahead and pop it out, and it holds your throttle worm gear on too. And so when it pops out, although it's too close, hold on a second, I think I need to use two hands. All right, so once you've got the front master cylinder out, so you can see it, you might want to loosen the lever, the pinch bolt, so that you can give yourself more space. And you flip it over, and there's a little screw that just... I found the screw, so there's the screw there. So just unscrew that, flip it over, and then if you twist a little bit, it'll pop out, and you see there's this O-ring on here. And so mine was pretty worn out, so I've got a new one in, and I'm gonna just clean it up a little bit with a little brake cleaner, and then pop this back in, and we'll re-bleed it and see if that fixes the problem. But that's what I read online, that there's a lot of problems with, and so just do everything in reverse to put it back in. So I'm gonna just clean these out and pop it all back together. Okay, so when you're getting ready to put this back together, make sure that your throttle cable is in the little latch, because this will clamp over on top of it. So when you get ready to put this back together, make sure that your throttle cable goes into the worm gear. This cover will go on top of it, and then you just want to make sure on your worm gear that your handle and this part of the gear, there's a couple of witness marks. So you just want to get those two lined up, and then clamp that on tight. And then there's another cover that goes on to this. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so to get the master cylinder back in, there's an Allen head bolt here. So just bolt that in. And on the back side, on mine, there was this extra, almost seems like a ground cable. I'm not sure what it was, but just make sure that you attach that. So let me tighten these up and keep going here. All right, before you put this cap on, you kind of want to make sure that those two lines, as close as possible, line up. So that one there, and then there's one on the handlebars. You can see it, handle, so you can see it there. So you kind of want to line them up as close as you can. And then this is the thing that will actually lock it in place. So you just gotta fit that on there, and then screw that in. And then screw this back on, fill it up, and then re-bleed the brakes and see if that keeps it from leaking. So hopefully you don't have any more brake leaks, and the brake job is done on this bike. All right, so as you can see, I've got a little bit of leaking coming between the brake reservoir and the master cylinder itself. So there's a little O-ring in there, which I replaced, but realized that it was a nitrile O-ring, and you need nitrile and brake fluid don't mix. So you need the special type of rubber. I'll put it down in the link, what the name of that type of rubber is. And it's really hard to find. I went to just an auto parts store, and they couldn't find the right size. So anyway, I just had to bite the bullet, get it from BMW. So we're gonna redo this job one more time. Okay, so here's the correct O-ring from BMW, and I'll put the part number in the description below. But you can see that the old one, it was really hard to get off, so it had really swelled up. So we'll put this new one on. Mechanic said to make sure you lube it. So, I mean, they don't look all that different, but it's a different material that's compatible with brake fluid. So let me clean it up, put it back together, and we'll take it for another test ride and see if we actually fix the problem. Okay, so I've got everything back together, bled the brakes, and looks like there's no more leaking. So we'll get this out on a test ride soon, but I think that's job done. So again, got to make sure you use the brake fluid compliant O-ring. Don't just use any type of O-ring, because you're gonna have to do the job over again, because that brake fluid is really corrosive and just swells up the seals. And I thought swelling up might be okay, but I guess not. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching.